It is streaming. There we go. Good morning. I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. It's Friday. Yay! I just made it. Bit of a rush this morning. Morning, Beth. So I'm going to do some cards for the collective, do some channeling. I'm also giving mini reads as well. So if you're interested in a mini read, then there's a pinned comment up top of that live chat. And you can find out in there, in that pinned comment, how to do that, how to get yourself a mini read. It's by donation. There's a PayPal link in there. Hey, Arabella. Hey, Christine. Hey, Mandy. And you can also use Super Chat and Super Sticker if you want. Our preferred method is PayPal. You can do whatever you want, really. And if you've got a question for your higher self, be sure to put a capital Q at the start of your comment, just so that I can find it nice and easy amongst all of the comments. How is everyone today? You good? Need coffee. My first bit of coffee for the day. Good news. I went to the hospital yesterday and I'm off the medication now. I've got to go back in 2 weeks just to check that I'm good off the medication, but blood pressure nice and low. They're happy. They're like, you won't have a problem now. Okay, I believe you. Good doctors. Take you off the meds. Hey, Natalie. Hey, Maria. Good morning. Morning here. Leave behind what's no longer you. Oh, letting go of stuff today. Okay. Excuse me. Letting go of stuff today. I've done purple look today. I had a bit of a, not with this eye, that eye. When I put my eyeliner on, I messed it up and I had to take it off and then like take some of the lid off and redo it. That's why I'm late probably. I rectified it though. I'm getting better at makeup. Yeah, isn't it awesome? I'm so happy. And just before that, the receptionist, I'm sure that's what you call them at a hospital, I don't know. She said, oh, we'll put you in on the hypertensive clinic, which is on the 30th of every month. And you can come along then. Seeing as you've got, what did she call it? She called it a chronic disease. She booked me in now, and then I went to see the doctor. He's like, no, take you off the meds. Come back in 2 weeks, just make sure you're all right, and then you're all good. And then you just need to come back once a month for us to check on it. Yeah. So then she had to take me out of the hypertensive clinic because I'm not hypertensive. I believe you've got to have high blood pressure for a long time to be called hypertensive. Mine was just a temporary glitch that needed sorting out because of my electrolytes. So I made sure I let the doctor know that. I said, well, I am eating differently now and I have a lot of electrolytes now, magnesium in particular, but all of the minerals that I need because I was sweating so he trains with me, so he knows. Sweating so much, sweating them out. So I had to eat a lot more salt, I said to him. It wasn't actually him, but he would have, because doctors do that, tell you to eat less salt. By far, it's only for a few percentage of people who've got already damaged kidneys that they're not meant to have salt when they're hypertensive. Not for anybody else. So literally 99% of the population should have more salt if they're hypertensive. So maybe he will think about that next time. Haven't seen you for a while, Arabella. What have you been doing? Something's up with my throat this morning. I didn't test my voice before I started. Hi, Stephanie. She's dealing with a very rude customer who got a deeper dive and then sent me this abusive email. She didn't know to click on the video. Apparently, I say it every video, but she said that she'd just received the coupon. But it was quite abusive, the email. Some people telling me that I can keep the money and stuff. So it was just so rude. You've been taking minerals. Good. Yeah, it's made a huge difference. So I'm glad to have nipped that in the bud because it might have been damaging my kidneys. Don't want that, do we? Okay, luckily I've got 3 kidneys. So 3 kidneys are better than 2. If I've done any damage to them, I guess. It's raining here again because it's rainy season. We've got play and magic maker. So we're letting go of things and we're playing. And there's some magic involved here. Playing. Being playful. Oh, I've created a monster. So, you know, I've got this thing going with the gym that I kind of train free there, but we make a note of how much I've trained there. And then whenever the owner needs money, I give him money. And so we tally it up like that. So it just keeps me as kind of a backup thing. Or if the gym needs equipment, I get it, and then I just write it down, and it's on my like tally page. Anyway, so they wanted some new shin pads. I don't think they're called shin pads. I think they're like kicking pads, the pads that they put on the legs so that they can kick us without hurting us, apparently. And so he wanted me to order some of those, so I ordered 2. I showed him which ones I was ordering, and I said, "What? You want me to get these?" And he said, "Yeah, get 2 pairs of mediums." I said, "Which color?" He said, "Whatever." Well, there was hideous green, like it was a really bad green color, and there was pink ones as well. They were the 2 worst colors, but there were all the other colors as well. And so I ordered the black ones and the white ones. I was nice to them, but when I went in, and like, "What colors did you order?" So pink and green. It's like, well, Mr. Handsome, he doesn't call him that, of course. Mr. Handsome can wear the pink ones. I'm not wearing the pink ones, I'll wear the green ones. Anyway, so they arrived yesterday, so I took them to the gym and they were all happy and put there. And then Mr. Handsome joined me. And he was very kicky. I've created a monster. And then when the other girl showed up, I'm like, watch out, he kicks a lot now. He was just giggling because he does. Having fun. Kicking ass. Hey Vivian and Penny and Jessica. Oh, it's been raining 2 days straight. It's just raining every day here now. Not all day long though. It was nice yesterday. I rode around, but it still did rain. Oh, having ups and downs, but doing your healing right. Yeah. So who have we got here? Thank you to Vivian. Thank you. What's going on with you physically? Well, that's a tricky one. High cells never want to go on about physical stuff at all. They want to go on about their real nuts and bolts that's behind it, the energy that's behind it. What's going on with you? Go deeper. Communication coming, like that's what I was saying. They want to go on about the stuff that's deeper behind it. Whatever you've got going on physically. Communication coming. Wait, I'm just tuning in. Yeah, I can't in this format. I can't do like the energy healing stuff. Just tried then, and it just that is for private sessions. It doesn't make for a show. Do you know what I mean? So with the health stuff, it's always a bit dodgy anyway. Health readings, because it's the stuff behind it. Anyway, there's something deeper behind that, and communication is coming there, so you are going to find out what it is. I'm feeling it's an emotional thing. Yeah, it's cleansed. And who am I? You got something deeper behind this. It's an emotional thing. I feel like it's something that is a family thing as well, who you are. Now, it is interesting, isn't it? Because I was just saying about my blood pressure is okay now, and I've come off the meds. And they say that you don't do that. And some people say, well, they say it's hereditary. They weren't surprised and put me on meds because it's hereditary, but it's not because the mechanisms. There's got to be a mechanism there. Sure, that can be hereditary, like. So if you've got a hereditary thing going on, it's not. It could be the emotional stuff tends to be hereditary. So you learn how to deal with things the same as your family, and then that pick up those emotional traits. There's been a fair bit of unpicking of all of that stuff through my readings lately. Don't know if you've noticed that, especially in the dailies. Unpicking of emotional stuff, and getting straight on it, of what is feelings and what is intuition, and then dealing with things differently, maybe with boundaries and empowerment and all of that. It's a lot to unpack. But this says that you've got communication coming about it. You think it's who you are because we think that those things are normal, but it's not necessarily who you are. It's hereditary stuff. Everyone loves food. Thanks, Maria. So I hope that helps. Yeah, as I said, I can't really do the energy healing stuff in this format. These are just mini reads. But if it's reminding you of people in your family, what's going on for you, I'm hearing it's not the physical. There's something deeper behind it. That's why that card came out, of course. Last night didn't go how I thought it would. I ended up crying. How to cope. Okay. So you had a release in it. It's not a failure, crying. How to deal with this. Judgment separates and peace. So you had an outcome that you thought that you were going to get, and frustrated tears. Okay. It didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. But the way that you wanted it to go was a judgment. So ideally we go into things open-minded and to deal with whatever eventuates, right, in that situation, rather than having an end goal in mind and then hoping or trying to steer it in that direction. So I'm getting frustrated tears here, and you need to make peace with that. We just never know how things are going to go with other people, you know, because they're doing the same thing. They're dealing with themselves in that moment too. So it's the expectations that you had and frustration that's going on here. And this is saying, like, make peace with it. And yeah, it's not, does not meaning lower your expectations. There's meaning be more open-minded. Like, we can be curious. We can go into situations and be curious like that, have no idea how it's going to go. Just be curious about that. And then be present emotionally with that person and talk to them. And then, yeah, and just see how it eventuates. So it's kind of you see, it's good to have expectations, say, of being treated well and stuff like that. Have a general expectation of that in the world, right? But when we get into specific situations, our expectations of people in particular, our expectations that that particular person's going to be like that with us, that's where we go wrong. That's where we get disappointed and frustrated. And unfortunately, like, law of attraction teachings have us thinking that we can do something about that, and we can't. We can be present with it and accept it, you know? We can be present with it and accept it. So I hope that helps. How would you cleanse? How would you let it go? Big questions, Viviane. It's a little bit much for a mini read, that's. Yeah, just take it one step at a time. So you had that communication coming card, which means that you will get to the bottom of this. You will. You'll be getting clues along the way. But it's emotional in nature. And so just keep on following those clues one step at a time. Your higher self will lead you there. Okay, let's get more cards out for the collective then. We've got release, play, and magic. Okay. Something's being let go of. Let's hope so. She's there every day now. She was never there. No, she's there every day. Why? It's weird. It's actually less weird yesterday. Harmony, perfect balance, and shelter. You're cherished. Nice. That card came out in the pick a card read. Shelter, someone wanting to take care of you. Harmony, perfect balance. Nice. Harmony, yeah. Harmonious changes. Huh. Harmonious changes. I like this. A lot of care and number 13. Let's read that one out. This harmony. You know, we live in a small community and we don't want messes here. If you want to know how to be present and how to really deal with something, move on to a small island where everyone knows everyone. And then you have to deal with everything. Harmony, perfect balance. There's no light without dark, no up without down, no life without death, and no summer without winter. Unless you live in the tropics. Yeah, but there's dry season and rainy season, so it's kind of right. Goddess holds the wisdom of perfect balance. She's conducted the universal orchestra in exquisite harmony since the dawn of time. You're one of the musicians in that orchestra. You're one of the musicians in that orchestra. Are you being attentive to a baton? A baton? Oh, she's the conductor. Okay. Are you living your life in a way that creates peace and harmony? Can you sit in the darkness knowing it will pass and light will come? Kind of. I'm getting a little frustrated though. Can you accept low times in your life without anger or blame? Apparently, some people can't even open a document and click on a link without getting angry and sending me an abusive email. Can you accept the low times in your life without anger and blame, knowing that happiness will take its place? Yeah, kind of. Through taking responsibility, right? Yeah, they don't like what they hear. That's all right. Most people don't. People will have their reactions, you know. Excuse me. Goddess is here to tell you to listen and watch with your intuition and your heart to the subtleties of life's rhythm and play in harmony with it. Why don't voices work in the morning? Is it because I've just been too quiet overnight? I said hello to the cat, but that's about it. Sometimes I put music on and sing, but I just didn't have time this morning to do that. When you learn to do this, like tuning into your heart, it means going along with the rhythm of life, you'll find you're no longer swimming against the current, but flowing in harmony with life. Take yourself out into nature and attune yourself to the changing seasons. Learn from the wisdom of the trees. They blossom when it's time to blossom. They fruit when it's time to fruit. And they rest when it's time to rest. Oh, rest when it's time to rest. Had a great massage yesterday. They do not waste their energy in fighting what they cannot change. Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot in here as well, Maria, of the take people as they come kind of thing. Allow them to have their own reactions or their own point of view without wishing that they matched ours. Look into yourself. Of course, we're going to wish it, aren't we? We want connection. We want people to be on the same page as us, but it's very rare that it happens. Look into yourself. Is there a part of you that's struggling to be in harmony with the world right now? Do you feel out of balance? Goddess is here to help you find ways to harmonize your life and redress the balance. She calls you to reconnect to the love that moves and touches in all things, in this vast interconnection of the universe. Let go of trying to bend, shape, and carve the world to your design. There you go. Let go of trying to bend, shape, and carve the world to your design, especially people. Go with the flow and know that Goddess has it all held in perfect harmony. Thanks, Arabella. Got a question, Arabella? I noticed you got a deeper dive. I'm like, oh, Arabella's back. When I click through the videos the emails in the morning of all the deeper dives, because they sell like hotcakes through the night. I always look. I scroll. It's the people's names is right at the bottom of the email, so I've got to scroll. But I do. I scroll through all of them and have a look, and I say hello to everyone. Hey Arabella. Hey Maria. That's what I do. High self guidance for Arabella. Deeper. Going deeper, Arabella. Find a new approach and feel it. A richer kind of feeling experience in your life. Find a new approach to that, to feeling better. When we hear that at like surface level, find a new approach to feeling better. You might think, oh, I'll just try and be happier and just like smile more, you know? That's really surface level, isn't it? This is asking for you to go deeper though. Sometimes we can say to the universe, like, this is a little bit boring, or I'm not like feeling enough. Like, can you give me like richer experiences? I'm getting a little bit bored in life. That kind of thing. Going for a deeper experience, a richer experience, and asking for that. You don't necessarily have to generate it yourself or try and feel like that yourself before you're having those richer experiences, but you can ask for it. You can ask for the universe to deliver richer experiences for a deeper feeling experience. And it does come up with the goods. Sometimes not necessarily in the way that we want it to, first of all, but we've got to, you know, like that harmony card said, we've got to take the rough with the smooth. Face the situation and own your idea. Oh, change is here. Yeah, maybe this is in your work. Feeling much more rewarded. A richer feeling from your work. You know, it came up in readings months ago about, maybe that was when you were here last, about our work shouldn't just be for money, you know. We should enjoy it. We should get a lot out of it. But, you know, a lot of things out of it, like, you know, learning and interest, and it being our passion, and working with good people, you know, a social interaction. We should expect way more from work than we do, because we spend most of our lives doing it. So, yeah, go for a deeper feeling experience in everything, really, but work especially. We can settle. We can get things going, then settle. You know what I mean? For the feelings that we get. Because the money's flowing in or something. Okay. That's you. Let's get into the tarot. I'll give you a better view. Got some new flowers as well yesterday. Look. 2 different types. They look the same though. They're not. They're 2 different types. Slightly different anyway. Oh no, they are the same. They're just kind of smaller. 2 of the same types. You're working in a small retail store, learning, but you want more. Yeah, ask for more. Because it can be, you can stay in place, is what I was hearing. You can stay in place and have a much richer experience of it. So let's get into the Book of Shadows Tarot. See what the guides want to tell us about today. It's all a little bit random at the moment. Things are being left behind in order to be more playful and all of that. Yes. Medication's being left behind. First morning without it. I still got 4 tablets left, but we're not going to have them because we want this. We want it these next 2 weeks completely medication free, so that we can see what happens to my blood pressure then. There we go. Transformation. Whoa, look at this card. Transformation. That's powerful. Powerful image. She seems very determined there. She's transformed. She's like the Phoenix woman. Transformation. There's a lot of major arcana that comes out of these cards. Have you noticed that? Where are you, transformation? Transformation. I wish this book was better. Oh, in order, I mean. It's just a pain in the ass having to search and search and search every time. Transformation, where are you? Cool cards. Wait. Transformation. Change, movement, transformation, conscious reaction. But I missed it for some reason there. The big thing about it. Here it is. It's the Chariot. Transformation. Our lives are a cycle and have cycles within cycles. Many of these are the natural result of life. We can't change them. Menopause. Only flow with them or flail against them. I'm flowing with menopause. It's not causing me a problem in the slightest. Not even a little bit. Nothing. The way we experience them can be a transformative experience. We also create cycles ourselves by the choices we make and the actions we take. And these cycles, the consequences are also life-changing. In addition, the choices we make and the thought process by which we arrive at those decisions are also transformative experiences. Okay. As we move through all the coexisting cycles, we create change and we are change. It's an interesting paradox. We experience in the middle of it as the earth exists in both nighttime and daylight. Right. So we are leaving things behind and moving into better things, right? But we don't always make the best choices for ourselves, and this is saying that there's a conscious decision to be made at the moment, and it's an important one that's going to have big lasting changes. I think it's in the astrology as well. I can't remember what it is, but there's something happening in the astrology at the moment that around this time, the stuff that we are choosing will have long-term consequences, like 7-8 year consequences, or maybe longer than that. Does anyone know the astrology? But there is something like that going on at the moment. So, and we don't often make the best choices, right? Like we were talking about before, when we have expectations of people and we want them to become the people that we want them to be, instead of taking them as they are and going, well, it's not them then because they're not that person. We stick on in there and try and fix them, try and change them into the person that we want. It's like going to a buffet and like you know what it is that you want to eat, but you choose something else and you try and change it into the thing that you want to eat. For some reason we do that because we don't believe that the person that we're actually looking for is out there. So we stick with the one that's right in front of us and try and change them into the one that we're looking for. That's a message for some. So there's a conscious decision, but we've got to become more conscious of when we're making unconscious decisions and why we do that. Because there's a new cycle starting up. New cycles. It's a definitive moment, is what I just said. Well, certainly mine is. I've made my decision. I'm all in. I've never met anyone so perfect for me. I'm all in. And I'm not crazy anymore. I mean, I recognize when, in the past, when I've made decisions, when I've leapt into relationships and stuff, I can look back and go, yeah, well, the signs were there. There were already red flags there. They were already showing me those. This time, none. No red flags. I'm not making any of it up this time. And that's kind of refreshing for me to realise that. Oh, there's that card again. It's not coming out, but there it is. Mabbin. That's the get ready for whatever's going to come, right? It's been out every day. Don't come out again. Everything's being more clarified at this time within thoughts. Yes, I've got like way more clarity now than ever. I feel like I've grown up. And a lot of it is like I'm coming up to my 6-month alcohol free. A lot of it's that, just that in itself. It's given me a lot of clarity as well. Hey Timothy, you're being in and out. How come? What are you doing? You fixing vehicles or something? Whoo, look what we got here. Oh, the guy in this deck are really hot. It's stinky. 8 of fire. Poseidon. Looks like Poseidon, right? Fire, where are you? Fire, here we go. 8 of fire. If this is Neptune. That's what I meant. Neptune. No matter what chaos ensues. Oh no, watch out. No matter what chaos ensues, Neptune stands calmly in the middle of it all, confident, somehow in control, and rather enjoying the ride. There's a saying about magic being done with smoke and mirrors. Neptune is the master of smoke and mirrors, and most of his magic focuses on the mind. Oh, is this why we're getting the clarity? Most of it's done with our mind. His energy covers the world with a blanket of romance and glamour. Beguiling mist cover the mundane and inspire the mind to dream or trick it into believing illusions. Wow, after what I was just talking about our conscious decisions. Smoke and mirrors in our own minds, how we fool ourselves, trying to convince ourselves. I swear I didn't used to try and convince myself of stuff before I learned about the law of attraction. And those teachings had me tripping myself up, trying to manifest things be what I wanted them to be instead of accepting them as they were. I swear that's when I really started messing myself up. And that was a long time ago, because I found a book that had not just the law of attraction, it had all of the laws, universal laws. It was an incredible book, but I really got hooked on the law of attraction because there was a lot of stuff out there about it. And it really messed me up. It really did. Neptune just came out of retrograde, did you? Watching on TV. But can only message on phone. Busy on phone. Oh, okay. New tires. Truck stuff. Yeah, beguiling mist cover the mundane and inspire the mind to dream or trick it into believing illusions. Scorpio season, yeah, love it. I love it. Ow. Years ago, a lot of psychics said it'll be Scorpio season when I meet my man, when I'm with my man, get together with my man. But I always thought, of course, that it was going to be the next Scorpio season, but it never was. In this altered state induced by Neptune's charms, the mind relaxes, logic blurs, and synapses make new connections, allowing a welling up of psychic tendencies and letting flow the feelings of compassion, sensitivity, and tolerance. Oh, feels. The 8 of fire lulls us into daydreams and fantasies. Logic takes a back seat as our soul craves mystery and illusion. We crave the magic, and so we start being stupid. I think that's what this card's saying. Once the mind is quieted and open, we begin to accept and then embrace the possibility of dreams coming true. And Neptune knows that belief is the first step toward creation. So not believing the fantasy, but being open and believing that we can have what we want. We just need to find it and wait. The shadow side of this card represents delusions, deception, and secrecy. The dreams in this case are more like nightmares and often lead to self-destructive behavior, right? We know that. We've all done it. Neptune's in retrograde until December the 1st. Oh. So maybe that's why Neptune's revealing to us then what idiots we are. What fantastical beasts. What fantasy creatures we are. And how stupid it is of us being that. It's not all stupid, of course. It's got its place, but yeah, that makes sense. So how long has it been in retrograde for? Because that kind of message has been coming out in the readings lately. I'm probably more affected by the planets than I think. The readings are. Hey, Kwana. Well, interesting, isn't it? So we've got to be so careful at the moment because the decisions that we're making at the moment of what to let go of what to move forward into are very important. It's going to stick with us for a while. And so Neptune's pointing out here how silly we are. Believing in fantasy, believing that someone can change, believing that we can fix situations, believing that codependency ever works. The Four of Earth. What's going on here? Oh, I remember this one. I've had this one before. Everyone getting annoyed at each other, right? Like, they're sleeping. Oh, no, it's not that card. It's similar. Four of Earth. Let's see what this is. Stones and crystals. We like stones and crystals. I do. Stones and rocks, whether small enough to fit comfortably in the palm of our hands or huge boulders that we wouldn't dream of trying to move, are one of the most quintessential symbols of the earth. They have a sense of stability, of being grounded, of endurance, of time. Haven't been there forever. Been here forever. And being here forever. Like herbs and plants, stones and crystals all have their own natures and characteristics. We can learn about them and find ways to work with them. It's like the earth hides pieces of herself, her magic and her power away in stones and crystals, leaving them scattered for us to find. We can gather and collect these gifts, saving them until needed. The Four of Earth is power, resources, and energy that have been collected and stored, put in a safe place until needed. This is a time to store, to save, to conserve. There will come a time when all that you've saved will come in handy. The shadow side of this card indicates that resources, energy, or power are being squandered. Spending or using your stores right now is not a wise investment. We've got to be really careful about where we're spending our energy and who with, especially who with. It's not go time yet. They're looking for gems. Yeah. It's very dark, this card. Why is it so dark? Well, it looks a little bit lighter now. One of them's asleep. One of them's always asleep. That's why I thought I knew this card. One of them's always asleep. Lazy. I want another one of these. About it. Does anyone want to join our Facebook group while we've got new people here? I'll find the link for it right now. It's here. Join our group. There's the link. Two of our, well, there you go. There's that decision that we're we've got to be very careful about making. And maybe that's why we're blind to it. Because we're still a bit silly in our choice making. The two of the two of is the pendulum. Life is complicated. Many times answers are not simple. Situations are not black and white, right? They never are, right? In order to find the truth of the matter, we plumb the layers and convulsions, looking for patterns, trying to find the path in the woods. However, there are times when things are not complicated. When? Sometimes the answer is simply yes or no. Most forms of divination are more suited for nuanced situations that fill most of our days. In fact, they're so well suited for those times that they're nearly useless for obtaining clear and easy answers, like my yes or no crystals. A pendulum, however, is useful for the only most basic of questions, this or that, yes or no. A pendulum is a very simple device. It can easily be made. It consists of a thread or a tiny chain with a light weight on the end. Lovely pendulums with fancy weights made of metal or precious stones can be purchased. There are even pendulums with tips that open, revealing a tiny receptacle that can hold herbs, oils, or tiny bits of paper. However, as nice as they are, a makeshift pendulum can be devised from a length of threads and a paper clip, or employing a necklace chain with a pendant on it. To use a pendulum, hold the end of the thread or chain in your dominant hand. Rest your elbow on a table or flat surface. Let the pendulum hang straight down, with your feet flat against the floor, center and ground yourself. This is a very important part of working with a pendulum. Do you know why? Because otherwise we just start swinging it. That's why. For you want to be tapped into the flow of the earth and with very strong connection. Once you're grounded, close your eyes for a few moments thinking about your question. When you feel the time is right, open your eyes and observe the pendulum to determine your answer. Yeah, don't swing it the way you want it to swing. Questions that work well with a pendulum are the ones that can be answered either yes or no. Questions about choosing between two possibilities also work very well. Before using your pendulum now, you'll need to determine how your pendulum responds to you, as it's not always the same for everyone. Do this by asking a series of yes or no questions that you already know the answer to. Keep track of which way the pendulum swings in response to the yes answers and no answers. After establishing consistency, you'll know how your pendulum works with your energy. For example, yes may be indicated by swinging vertically and no horizontally, with an uncertain or unknown shown by the pendulum moving in a circle. If you think your question should be easily and clearly answered with the pendulum, but find that it's not, that is, if the answer is uncertain, unknown, try using another form of divination to gather more information about the situation. The two of our inner reading signifies clear guidance. All the necessary information is at hand, and it's time to make a decision. The truth of the matter is clear if we only open our eyes and accept it. The truth of it is clear, but we've got to open our eyes and accept it. This is saying, like, stop bullshitting ourselves. The evidence is right there in front of us. How often do we make excuses and talk around things and go, that's what I'm saying, is I can look back at my old self now and go, I was just so full of bullshit. You know, my decision-making process was off. The shadow side of this card indicates that while the truth is indeed knowable, we're not ready to or able to accept or deal with it at this time. How very interesting. So they're all about a choice now, and they're all about our stupidity in that. It could be worse. We could be learning nothing. At least we're learning. One of my favorite crystals right now is this one. I really love this one. I've always loved this one when I saw it in the shop. It's just cool, isn't it? The shape of it, everything. I love it. I want to use it as a pick a card crystal, but I like it on its perch there. Maybe I should get it down sometime. Maybe I'll do it today. Okay, let's use this other deck, the one with the miserable women in it. So below. Or the deck with the miserable women in it. Oh, there's a hedgehog tarot and it's really cute. The King of Pentacles. Well, there's a happy woman in this. She's talking to the neighbour. What's going on in the background there? In the gazebo. Something dodgy going on there. But she seems happy. So it's not the deck of the miserable women. There's a happy one with the King of Pentacles here. Why is she happy? Well, she's with the King of Pentacles. He's very stable. King of Pentacles. Shares the delights and wonders of the physical, generosity with others. Oh, the reverse is trying to buy people's affections or obedience by controlling resources. Oh dear. Right, withdrawing our love or making it conditional to try and get them to be who we want them to be. Yikes. Or we can share the delights and wonders of the physical generously with others. Is that all it says about this? It is. There's not much information in this deck. But it's also, you know, stability. Very stable. And so probably it's our energy there. Get to that stable place where we can make good decisions for ourselves without the bullshit. So in other words, be honest with yourself and about how we've been bullshitting ourselves before, and be wary of ourselves because of that. Cue a cat showing up at the window there, because now it's raining hard. Oh, here she is. You want to come in, chicken? It's horrid out there. You do all the time. Yeah. Man. I really did, hey. It's worse, I think, being a reader. Constantly asking the cards. All the cards telling me lately are the same things. And I try not to use the cards for myself, apart from my weekly reading. I try and just use the apps instead, you know, that pick a random card for my own guidance, because... What was that, chicken? Because I can bullshit myself less with those. And the only card... I've just been getting, like, no answers constantly lately, because I'm always asking the same thing. It's like, is it for something for me to be doing now? Is it my move to make with Mr. Handsome? And I just keep on getting no, wait. So I'm like, okay. Let's get another card out. Two. We had that yesterday. Knave of Chalices. Well, we had both of these. Not yesterday, the day before. Last Psychic Cafe, we had both of these. This is the... We've got receipts about it. We've got evidence of it. Yes, we've got evidence of it. The Seven of Swords. And the Knave of Chalices there, that reflection of us, the dreamy one. We've got evidence of it on ourselves. We've got evidence that we're silly. The universe has got receipts, and so have we. We've got evidence. The evidence is right there. We've got to stop. We've got to see the evidence now and be like totally realistic with ourselves, so we can get to this stable position and stop doing all of this nonsense. Right? it's one thing that scares me about what I do, especially with it being YouTube and pick a card reads now, is that this is because there's so many people doing this, and I know, and I say to my guides, like, especially when I do a pick a card and all three of them are positive, and I'm like, well, that's great for my YouTube channel, thanks, guys, but is it so great for the people watching it? Because I know a lot of people will be like fixated on a really toxic situation and using the readings, positive readings, as fuel to to fool themselves. And I don't want to be that. I want to help. And so part of me is happy when there's more real, gnarly kind of pick a card reads in there. But then a part of me isn't happy about that too, because I don't make as much money and my YouTube channel isn't as popular. But I'm happy that people are getting the right information. And when they're positive, of course, a part of me thinks, yay, I'm making a heap of money now. I'm doing my YouTube really well. But I have this little bit of guilt. Not really guilt, just guides. Well, I've got to trust the guides. I've just got to trust the guides on it. So that's that. We've got nothing but evidence, is what I'm being told here. We've got nothing but evidence, so let's stop bullshitting ourselves, right? That's... Hello, Dennis. You taking that Himalayan salt? I think you mean Himalayan. Think on that. What you talking about, Willis? Okay, next deck. I changed vases on this table as well. Did you notice that? This is another one of my 3 new vases. Oh, the stuff are just arriving now and they're getting wet. Badly timed shower. What have we got here? The 6 of Cups. Reminiscing. Twin flame soulmate? Maybe, but reminiscing. It's the card of reminiscing. I'm going to read it out. I hope it doesn't rain so much that we get rivers for roads. I don't think it will. Because it just gets really hard to get around the island. 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups reflects a period of relaxation and success after finally emerging out of a stressful situation, and highlights the self-confidence that comes from speaking your truth. We've got to know our truth to speak it, and so we've got to look back in time and reminisce and call ourselves out on our BS. Thanks, Jessica, for your donation. You got a question, Jessica? On top of this energy, this card connects to lingering moments of nostalgia or an idealized past you may still be holding on to. There's some of that bullshit, right? Idealized past. Yes. Deep emotions are rooted within these memories. So it's important to acknowledge them, whether they're pleasant or not. As we're living records of every thought and feeling we've experienced, it is important to also remember the inner child who exists within you. Yeah, and their reaction to it, right? Because those of us that have been abused and all of that, we know we have these needy inner children, right, that respond to any little bit of intention. We know that. And so the majority of our feelings are our inner children are being hungry for attention and hungry for love until we've done the self-love thing. And when we've got the self-love thing down pat, we no longer have that hungry child inside, the hungry orphan kind of thing. And we can make much better decisions from that point. And so we've got to know a lot of the time our feelings are based on a hungry inner child. How interesting. It may be an opportune time to plan out a recreational, social, or peaceful interlude. Karmic connections, love, children, reconnection, Akashic records, gratitude. Reverse says it's a need to let go of past traumas or issues. There is that, yeah. But there's also a need for the self-love thing, like I said, to then do the self-love thing to redress the balance with our inner children, to kind of reparent them, not really reparenting them, just giving them what they need now, taking good care of them. It's important to recognize the gift of each and every moment in order to live fully in the present. Do you know what I mean by that? I mean, not that I just said, what I said before. Yes, healing ourselves of past traumas and issues, that has its place. But I think often we can think that once we've healed that thing, then everything's going to be okay. And it's not. Then we need to actually grow up as a healthy person. Not wearing any rings. Then we need to grow up as a healthy person and kind of, reparent ourselves or just love ourselves right so that we can grow into who we were supposed to be or who we can be, who we would have been had we had like good parenting and stuff like that. Not always the parent thing, it's just, life experiences. Bracelets. There we go, that's better. So letting go of past traumas and issues is just a part of it. It's not the full story. Then empowerment and self-love has got to happen. Anticipating the future and reliving the past may detach you from the joy of living in the now. There we go. It's connected with all of this. Anticipating the future and reliving the past may detach you from the joy of living in the now. Like I said to Maria, like we've got to live in the now in conversations and stuff like that and not have the expectations and just allow ourselves to be present in the moment and see reality as it is, people as they're being, and not lose our expectations of what it is that we want in life, but not try and pin it on that one person or that one event or that one thing, that one job, that whatever. For example, I don't make one pick a card read and then for the rest of my days not do any others and just sit there going, when's it going to be viral, this one? That would be another way of doing it, right? How can you build a new foundation of strength and support in your life? Being strong for yourself, supporting the inner child especially. Nostalgia or idealized past. Watch out for that. That's a tripping point, isn't it? That's some of our bullshits. I'll pick a card right. Thank you, Natalie. Watch them all the time. Yeah, totally. And that's what I said 2 days ago, too. Why is it that we know whether a pick a card read is for us or not, whether we've picked the right one or not? It's because you already know, really. You already know the guidance, right? Otherwise, you won't be able to do that. Jessica, let's sort you out. Thanks for your donation, Jessica. Jessica, high self-guidance for you. Jessica, who perceives the perceiver and communicate? Right. Oh, this is tangled web. You're overthinking things, Jessica. This who perceives the perceiver, it's when we get into that mindset where we're more focused on, it's like we're in our own consciousness, but then projecting ourselves into someone else's consciousness and how they're viewing us. So we're more thinking of ourselves from an external consciousness than being in our own consciousness and being on our own page kind of thing. It's like managing someone else. It's really hard to put this in words. I know exactly how it feels. It's like putting ourselves into someone else because we're a bit anxious about how other people take us. It's about trying to manage someone else and their feelings instead of just sitting in our own feelings and advocating for ourselves. It's that kind of thing. It's a way of overthinking, but it's like a projection of consciousness. It's like walking in a room and being self-conscious, and your eyes are almost in everyone else's eyes instead of your own eyes looking at them. You're not seeing it from your perspective looking at them, you know. You're seeing yourself from their perspective looking at you, that self-consciousness. You got that going on. Who perceives the perceiver? Where is your consciousness at? Is it in your eyes, in your perception of your experience? Or are you thinking about and perceiving it from other people's experience of you? Because that's kind of messed up. And I know why we do it. We do it to protect ourselves, but it's kind of messed up because we detach from ourselves when we do that. Now, you got the communicate card out with this, which means especially when you're talking, you're in someone else's head. Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Don't know that one. So there you go, Jessica. Unpick that. How do you stop doing that? Well, you've got to be in your own, pull yourself back, be in your own experience. Your life is about your experience, not about fitting in anyone else's. Not about pleasing anyone else. People pleasing can be an aspect of this as well. And so allowing your life to be about you and you feeling good and you walking into the room and it being about your experiences and how, whether you like them, not whether they like you, but whether you like them. It's that. It's getting into relationships and deciding whether they're right for you, not whether you're good enough for them. Are they good enough for you? There's lots of nuances about it like that, but to sort it out requires us to really value ourselves and go, no, this is my life experience and it's all about me. Yeah. Love as an include, there you go. And so it's particularly wrecking your love life. That, like it would. Like, am I good enough for them? Are they attracted to me? Do they want me? That's totally the wrong way of approaching your love life. The way of approaching your love life is, are they good enough for me? Have they got what I want in a relationship? Can they offer me that? Are they offering me that? Are they on the same page as me? Are they compatible with me? Are they good for me? Are they going to give to me? Sounds very selfish, doesn't it? It is. It's good. You need to be like that. Because we already know that you can make other people happy. But can they make you happy? So get your consciousness in yourself. That's good for everybody as well. So thank you for donating and letting everyone hear that. It's built to help newbies feel, grow, and heal. The majors are all completely different. Sometimes I like decks that mess with the tarot, and sometimes I don't. I'm quite enjoying this one, not that one so much. Anyone else having the same experience with the Book of Shadows? I like the As Above decks. These are okay, but they're not my favourite. Not my favourite tarot decks. I'm still using it. You're welcome, Jessica. Thanks for your donation. So we've got the Six of Cups. Fantasies again. Same message, isn't it? Coming out over again. There's the Two of Swords again. Oh, there's the Two of Swords again. Choices, not blind. Let's read it out of this book and see if it tells us more about our fantasies. The last one was all about a pendulum. Yes or no answers. Which we can do. You know, it's these. Same. That's my pendulum. Red and a green crystal there. Two of Swords. If you find yourself at a crossroads, there may be a need to enforce a sense of balance between two or more opposing factors in your life. It's time to acknowledge the situation head on in order to process what you've been avoiding. This is about making a decision. The whole reading is about making a decision. And finally, breaking through the shadows. Do not fear the potential outcomes Do not fear the potential outcomes, as fear will only hold you back from finding a positive solution. Ooh, have the courage to trust in yourself and the path will become clear. After you're able to make a choice, your confidence and strength will soar to new heights. Are you sure you want to go out? Because it's started raining heavy again. Yes, she does. $300-page book, wow. Numerology deck. Oh yeah, I remember someone told me about that. Manifestation version. Ooh. Both sound interesting. I'll check it out. What's it called? The new Moonology. Equilibrium, peace and justice, truth, self-doubt, strength, illumination, decisions. Illumination. Reversed is feeling overwhelmed with options, views, opinions, or ideas. Fear of potential consequences or outcomes. If you find yourself stuck in the middle of a quarrel or argument, it may be a good idea to remove yourself quietly in order to find a way to release the negative energies or attachments. It's time to do what's solely right for you. There you go, Jessica, that's for you. It's time to do what's solely right for you. Solely right for you. We absolutely need to do that. We can only make the right decisions for ourselves if we're making it for ourselves. And like I said, the law of attraction stuff can have us thinking, or even magazine articles can have us thinking, there's something that I can do here to make this outcome in this particular situation be what I want it to be. There's something that I can do to change this person into being who that I want them to be. And there isn't, right? I guess this is why my cards that keep on coming out keep on saying, no, don't do it. Because what I'm asking really is, how can I change this situation to make it come about faster? I can't. It's doing it. I know. It's called Moonology Manifestation. Well, as it would be. Oh, I'll check it out. I'll try and find it. See if it's in my Lazada shop. Why is it shaking? The camera. I'm just going to move this slightly because there's obviously a connection point between this. There you go. I can shake the table without the camera shaking there. Okay, let's get another one out. Well, important lessons today about our delusional, usual way of being. Sobriety helps me to be less delusional. There we go. Not controlling, allowing divine timing. Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck. The card of delusion. It's your ear hole. Six of Crystals. Reciprocation. Let's read this one out. Okay. Oh God, you know what I just saw then? Reciprocation of energies, right? So if we're being delusional like this, and we are trying to morph ourselves to get a situation, an outcome to be a certain situation, whoever we're dealing with, they're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing, and we're both bullshitting each other and both trying to manipulate each other. And it's not even right on face value what's going on because we're both not being ourselves. That's what I saw then. Six of Crystals indicates a state of balance and abundance in your life. You recognize the value of your relationships, spirituality, and mutual benefit of loving support of others. This is also a time for inner growth and prosperity. You've risen to the occasion and can now look back on the choices that you've made that have led to your state of knowing. Right, there's the important sentence. You've risen to the occasion and can now look back on the choices that you've made that have led to your state of knowing. How will you move up from here? Opportunities, gifts, or rewards may be closer than you think. New opportunities, career, philanthropy, generosity, prosperity, advancements, growth, abundance, and reciprocation. Reversed is an imbalance of energies. If you're being generous with others in some way, be careful that you're not being taken advantage of. Six of Crystals, reverse may also indicate a need to maintain a sense of selflessness with your generosity. No, it's not that for us. It's the opposite, selfishness, because the reciprocation that you get is a balance of our imbalance. Does that make sense? Like the codependent with the narcissist. But I definitely was getting that mirror reciprocation. So if we're fantasizing about someone else, fantasizing about us, and we're both trying to manipulate each other to be what we want it to be, it's not even what it appears on the surface because we're not being ourselves so that they can be themselves. And it's just a mess. Are there motives behind what you're doing, or are you working from a place of love? If this card is pertaining to relationships, it could be that there's an imbalance of energy being used or transferred between two people. Is someone giving more than the other? This deck's really nice. I like it. I particularly like this book. I like the stuff that's in it. It's a good one. I like this one just because of its shininess. It's just the regular tarot, which is nice sometimes. It's nice to use the regular tarot sometimes. And I'm getting better at not spreading them all over the room, because if you drop these cards, if you squeeze them in the wrong place and they fly out, they are so slippy because they're plastic that they travel great distances on the floor. It's probably okay on carpet. Extremely slippy. See? Two of Swords again. How many Two of Swords can we get out? All of them, apparently. Well, we didn't get it out in that deck, but we did get it out in that deck, and we got it out in that deck, and we got it in this deck. So, just the miserable women deck that we didn't get the Two of Swords out in. And then the Four of Pentacles again. We've had that already too. Four of Earth. Holding our energy back. Almost being wary of ourselves. I think that's what it's saying, is hold your energy back. If you're not sure that you're still being delusional, hold your energy back. Don't make that decision. Don't make that decision. Yeah. It's like a big aha moment when we're like, oh my God, I've been deluding myself over and over again in my life, instead of just being straight up and taking things on face value and trying to make it all fantastical and magical when it hasn't been. It's just been, you know, it's like that twin flame thing. It's like the twin flame thing. There's a lot of delusion going on now. All right. Let's get one more out. That's even possible with this deck. Yes, it is. Two of Wands. There you go. There's the decision being made. Which path shall I take? Two of Wands. I'm actually going to read that out. Very rarely read out of this book because it's just basic. Basic as can be. Sometimes that's good, right? What's the choices? Two of Wands. It's a choice of action. Planning, potential decisions, future planning. You're at a point where you must make a choice. You must. Are you contemplating which way to go? Do these two choices have a different outcome? Well, now's the time to choose. It's quite all right to sit back and think it over. So make a choice rationally and start walking. Stay true to yourself and be bold. Oh, I've chosen. But then sometimes I wobble. Do not worry or dwell on the past, but make a quick assessment of what's brought to you where you are, right? What's in front of you. You got the whole world in your hands. At this time, make it matter. Your creative force will help guide you. Wow. Being in the moment, making wise decisions based on the actual receipts that are in front of us, evidence that's in front of us. In that particular moment, can't second guess it. It could change. They could change their mind. It's not set in stone already. It's not. We have to be responsive to it. Isn't that always the way people come for readings? Because they think that the future's set in stone, and it's not. Is this my person? Am I going to be with them? Well, look, on the face of it, looking at it as from the energy that it is, in all likelihood, it looks like you're both going to make that decision, yes or no. It doesn't mean it's so. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, though. It doesn't mean that you're not going to wobble and mess it up. It doesn't mean that they're not going to wobble, or you're both going to wobble and mess it up. And there's our guides going, oh, I'm trying to get them together. Or, I'm trying to move her on from this jerk, this idiot that just needs like crappy lessons. And she doesn't need crappy lessons. She needs to realize her value. Stop seeing crappy jerk as being twin flame. Or whatever it is we're seeing crappy jerk as. That crappy jerk. Wow, get real. That's what I'm going to call this show. Get real. What should we do next? We've got free will. It's not set in stone. We can make better and better decisions for ourselves based on what we've learned. And that's not set in stone whether we get the lessons or not. It's our own development. It's what the guys have been saying all along. Our life is about our own development and our growth. It's up to us. What we're creating it. It's just up to us whether we get the lessons or not, whether we learn from it or possibilities are endless. Absolutely. Our guides desperately want to teach us how not to mess it up. And they're trying the hardest. I'm trying to help them. And I'm not perfect with this. Helping me is the helping you. Let's get some loving out. I think I don't need to get any more tarot cards out because it's clear, isn't it? It's clear today what they want us to know. They want us to know that we're idiots. Quite frankly. And this is how you're being an idiot, Claire. Thanks. It's important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now's the time to give to yourself. I want another one of these out. See you, Christine. Have a nice day at work. Don't pervert all those men in the gym like you do, you know? But you don't. Everyone else would. I would. Do. New beginning! Let's be delusional about this now. New beginning. New adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. Wow. Okay. What now? Which cards aren't delusional? These. Watch me get all of the like twin flame cards out there. The one, the swan. Yeah. They all came out the other day, didn't they? That's what you're doing, you're stopping. The bardo, in between worlds here. In between worlds in ourselves. In between the old self and the new self. Oh, yeah. This transformation. Look at her there. She's leaving her old self behind and she's nakedly going forward with a new hairdo. She's determined. Very Queen of Wands kind of an energy in her there, isn't there? She's going into the darkness, look. She's like, things have come to light. And she's like, right, I'm going to go and sort that shit out. I didn't notice that before. She's going into darkness. She's like, I'm sorting this out. In between worlds, in between ourselves. Seeing ourselves clearly now. Again, this card has got it too. The clear vision on the inside and then the in-between worlds, the bardo, and then into the darkness. Ooh, into the darkness. We go. The king. Taking control. Yeah, the Emperor came out today in the energy update of how best to deal with the energies. It was to take control of it. What was it? The energy update today was if you can, just because you can doesn't mean that you should. Just because a door is open doesn't mean that you should go through it. Just because the fairies are running doesn't mean you should go to the other island. See your ex. Oh God, I've got over that delusion from Mr. last year. Got your kayak out. You're getting your kayak out. You stored them. Let's have a kayak. 3. I had a kayak in the UK, which was a fiberglass. It was a slalom. I used to do whitewater slalom kayaking. And in Australia, I had 2 plastic ones, matching ones. I still got them. No, I've still got one of them in storage. I still got one of them. Oh, what did I do? I put one of them on the yacht and one in storage. Is that right? And then I sold the one in the yacht on the yacht. Yeah, because he had his own. That's right. Yacht. I still got one of them, the bright green. My kayak that I've got left. Who's that? Gabe, hello. 58 means nothing to me. Temperature's still good here. It's nice to be able to wear jeans again. The temperature's still okay here. The poet. There's something perfect about this. Crystal ball there. There's something perfect about this. Something poetic about it. There's something about this story. That's what my guides keep on telling me as well. It's like, Claire, this isn't frustrating. This is just perfect. And it is in a way, my personal story, I mean, it is in a way because we're really getting to know each other. Like, you really get to know someone in adversity, right? And like, what would they do in this situation? For the first time ever, I saw him interact with his wife yesterday because she came. And he smiled at her, and it was pleasant. And that's really nice. And it's just weird that she's showing up every day because she's never been there before. There's obvious change going on there. But I remember, and I recall back to how weird it was when I was breaking up with my ex-husband. Just, it's so unsettling, and I get it. Like, I get it. But just seeing him do right, is there's something. I trust him more. I trust him more is what it is. There's something poetic about what's going on anyway. Got 5 yaks. Are they hairy cows? Yak to me is a hairy cow. 21. That's freezing. You're kidding me? It doesn't even get that cold here. It's weird, hey? We get acclimatized. 27 degrees in here today. It's cold. 26 degrees is cold. 27 degrees is okay. It's kind of pleasant. Able to wear jeans. Hey, Zane. Billy Zane. I used to have a thing about Billy Zane. Got beautiful eyes. Gabe. I nearly called you something else then. Gabe. Is there a free list? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. What list? Okay, Gabe. Let's get you some guidance out. Judgment separates. Own my idea. I had an idea and you're judging it instead of acting on it. Judging yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge your ideas. Ideas are passed to you for a reason. Own it. Own your ideas instead. Don't judge them and talk yourself out of them. Communication coming clear within. So you've had a pre-idea, a tester. It's very close to the actual idea that's coming in. It's like the carrots, it's like a carrot. The idea that gets you, hopefully, in alignment with the next idea that's coming. It's a tester. Like, will Gabe act on this one, or will he talk himself out of it again? Because I'm not going to give him the great big idea until he's shown willing to act on the ideas that are in front of him. Something like that. So you've got another one coming, but first you've got to clear your resistance to the ideas that are coming in. Just give it a go. It doesn't have to be the be all and end all. It's like that. Yeah, he's popping into my head again. It was actually a customer, and then he ended up being in the same location as me, Port Douglas in Australia. And so we met up. And we're like, let's go for lunch. We went for lunch, and me being me, asking him like what he wants to do, what he'd really do, because he's like a healer, but wounded healer. And he's like, well, I just want to be. But like, yeah, but like, isn't this something you want to achieve? Like, what would you really like to do? I was trying to like tap into what his passion was because it wasn't evident, and he was kind of depressed, really. And he said, well, I would really like to write a book, but it wouldn't be anywhere near as good as The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, so I'm not going to. Like, what? Just write your damn book. Don't try and beat Eckhart Tolle. What kind of bullshit is that? Competitive bullshit. But anyway, that is popping into my mind. You're talking yourself out of something. It doesn't matter. You just write the first book, right? My first book was okay. It was only okay though. It was the only book that was written in that way. It took me months. Literally every other book that I've written, it took me a day because it was purely channeled. That one wasn't. That was my sit down and write however many words each day. That conventional way of writing books It's still kind of channeled, but it's not. It's not my best work. It's still quite popular. Cat's magic for readings. Oh, you're one of those bullshit artists. Should have watched the whole show. It's been about noticing the bullshit sign. Yeah, be lucky to catch anyone out after this show with that crap. Okay, so that's you, Gabe. Act on your idea. Don't talk yourself out of it. And I hope you find your way, Zane, to doing something real. Let's get some. I'll not get some of these out. I want to get some of these out. So we're kind of in between worlds, in between selves at the moment, getting real about ourselves, taking control. There's something poetic about what's going on at the moment now. And these choices that we're making, especially. Got a vacation. Again, that message of taking a break and resting when we need to. Man. Dealings with my youngest son, when he was little, he used to say, "Ah, my man." He used to put on a deep voice and go, "Ah, my man." So whenever I see man, I want to say it like him. Dealings with a relationship with a man, what's that about? What is he getting us into now? What's this man about? Archway, new opportunities and paths opening up. But just because a door opens doesn't mean you should go through it, you know? A chain of events that will affect your life. Far-reaching consequences to this choice. I know. The choices that we're making at the moment, this is why it's going on about, this is why we've got the Two of Swords out so much, is there's far-reaching consequences to the choices that we're making at the moment. You receive a gift. What do you want it to be? A gift. I don't want. The staff were in my room yesterday cleaning while I was opening my gifts, all the parcels that arrived yesterday. They were really interested. They were talking about me. She gets so much. She gets so much delivered. What is it? And it was mostly food, so they couldn't judge me on that. But it was some makeup brushes too. What is it she's got? What is it she's got? It's mostly food. Food that I can't buy on this island. And supplements that I take. I don't know. I just gift myself. What I want all the time. What gift would I like? What gift would you guys like? What would you like to receive? A gift. Did you all see my post on Facebook? I don't think I shared it in the group about the your love language, the way that you punish yourself, the way that you sabotage yourself being the opposite of your love language. Did you all see that? I'm going to find it right now. Join our Facebook group there. I'm going to find it right now, and then I'm going to share it in the group because I posted it on my line. Here it is. Here we go. I'll read it to you now. I was watching a TikTok video about the 5 love languages, and he said, whatever your main love language is, you do the opposite to yourself as a destructive behavior. What's your love language? So words of affirmation can be a love language, right? And so then you have a negative internal dialogue. Acts of service, you have messy home, undone chores. That's not me. Receiving gifts, that's what made me think of it. Receiving gifts, not feeling worthy of treating. That is not me in the slightest. I'm not a gift giver. Not feeling worthy of treating yourself to new things, it says. Quality time, isolation. Physical touch, that's me. I'm a physical touch person. Avoiding human interaction. I'm even avoiding saying those words. It's so true. Avoiding human interaction. So I punish myself. Feel attacked. I'm going to put it in the group now. Show me my group. Where are you, group? Why would it put my group last? Put my group first. There it is. What did it say? Physical touch. It's so true. There you go. I posted it in the group. Now, come on to our group. Oh, it's Dorothy's birthday today. Yay. Happy birthday, Dorothy. What's yours? What's everyone's love language? Mine is physical touch. I literally can't leave someone alone when I'm with them. It's physical touch. Yeah. I'm not a big gift giver or gift receiver and all of that. Like, I treat myself. Words of affirmation, yes. Quality time, that too. So I do have that isolation thing going on as well. What's yours? What's your love languages? Anyway, receiving a gift. I don't know about that. Give us another one because I don't know about that. I like receiving food. People give me food all the time. Further, someone you know is undependable and insincere. Can shove the box and stick it where the sun don't shine. Then, so this could be an insincere gift. Then, someone trying to buy you. Like it said with this reciprocation, I was getting. We are receiving a match back to our bullshit that we've got going on as well. So there's manipulation going on of us. So do you do that as well, Mandy? Do you withdraw from human interaction to punish yourself? Yeah, we're a blend for sure. Gift giving is last on my list for both. Giving and receiving, yeah. Sure. Ironing your hands. Punishing yourself. Words of affirmation. Isn't that interesting? I find it really interesting anyway. But yeah, of course, because it's about self-love. So the more you're loving yourself, the less that you're going to do any of those destructive behaviors. So you really know that you're being self-loving when you're not doing that, right? I'm having more human interaction than ever now. But still not to Claire levels. Well, that's good. Then you're loving yourself, Timothy. Physical touch is your main one. See, we're all perverts. Not perverts. What was I going to... creepy. That's not the word I want either. Yeah. Physical touches. Okay. Well, let's leave it at that. Thanks everyone for coming along. So, that's it. That's what the message is today. Wake up to ourselves. And how silly we are sometimes. But it's good. It's a good lesson. And there's some poetic justice in it as well. I mean, we had to go through it. We know ourselves better after having gone through that. And so we did it for good reason. Makes us stronger. So let's do this. Oh, it's the weekend. Have a good weekend, everybody. And I will be putting a pick a card readout tomorrow, which is what you can expect in the next 7 days. The new weekly format. And what else? Yeah, have a good weekend. Let's do this on Monday. Join our group, Facebook group, everybody. Join our Facebook group here. Let's keep in touch. Bye. Have a good one.